G'day everyone, it's your Uncle Jojo. Grouse to see you all again. Last year I went back to school. That's right, went back to school and I got my Cert 4 in training and assessment. I then undertook a little bit of an investigation onto the skills of Australian workers and where our trade skills are going. How I did this was I ended up going to penitentiary for 4 weeks, to youth detention for 4 weeks, to VCAL and then to TAFE. The biggest thing that I can say is it's a little bit scary to see all of these people in either youth detention, adult penitentiary or VCAL. They've got no trade base to fall back onto. A lot of the blokes I spoke to in the penitentiary were aged between 25 and 35. None of them had trade bases, and if they did, they only had part of their apprenticeship finished. They ended up quitting halfway through, and then because of that, they weren't able to pick anything else up. They lost confidence in themselves, and then the cycle just reproduced itself. So it became a negative downward spiral. Youth detention was hard. Actually, youth detention was harder than the penitentiary. The kids, from what I experienced, because they've been brought up in this system, they've got this thought process or mindset that they're owed something all of the time. Although I did find one guy, his name, let's call him Frederick. Frederick he couldn't really even spell his name. His writing was horrible. He was 14 years old. And he had a real bad attitude at the start of the 4 weeks. Now, after 4 weeks of working with him, I found that he was able to understand the grain of the timber, understand the way the tree grows, understand the way that we plane the timber to build something or create something, whether that be a bit of furniture or if that be a building, to understand the personality and the properties of those timbers. Anyway, at the end of the 4 weeks, he was a completely different person. He really took to understanding all of these elements of the carpentry trade, and his personality changed as well. He himself became a lot more confident and a lot happier, and he also had something to look forward to going forward after youth detention. He was really, and I still hope he is, really fixated on becoming a carpenter and then travelling the world to look at different carpentry techniques. So good on you, Frederick. You know who you are, and I really hope that you do that. VCAL, I have to say, was really disappointing in the aspect where I came from a tech school. I had an opportunity at the end of my school where I was part of a tech program just for a couple of years, and we had a big variety of different trade bases that we were able to reflect or experiment upon. And they went from sheet metal to automotive, electronics, a couple of different types of carpentry, business studies, and then there was also the English, mathematics, and all of that kind of jazz, if that's the way you wanted to go. At this school, we had some pretty tough teachers, but really, in the big scheme of it, teenage boys need a bit of a guiding hand, but also need that little bit of discipline to help form and shape them. Discipline, from the Latin term, comes from the word disciplina, and it means knowledge. And what it means is information and knowledge. By these older men teaching us how to look at different trades and different techniques of those trades, we were able to bring those skills into other elements of trade, whether that be automotive onto carpentry, if that not be carpentry onto electronics, and we were able to understand how each trade knitted into each other. This is where the tech schools flourished in Australia. Tech schools were about people that weren't academic. I was not an academic kid at school, and I really loved the hands-on stuff. Always wanted to do things that were hands-on. As soon as I had the opportunity, I got into understanding trades and wanting to be part of a trade. And obviously carpentry is the trade that I chose, and I really love being in it. Now, lastly was the TAFE system that I've been teaching in. Really enjoying the TAFE system. I love it. The teachers that I've been teaching with, thank you very much. all of those teachers. I learned a lot last year from Rob. I did an interview with him. If you haven't seen that, check that out. One of the lead teachers at Swinburne. I'm not teaching at Swinburne, it's another TAFE, but it's really good to see how many teachers are backing each other up and the support that they give each other and understanding of how the class runs and the better way of delivering information to the up and coming. The students at school today aren't massively different from the students at school yesteryear. The biggest change is, though, that they don't have any of those understandings of different trades and different trade practices. And I believe and feel from the investigations I've done that by bringing back a tech school program where you have 5 different or 6 different trades that people get to study and look at through their curriculum of education in their younger years will help prepare them for the future years ahead and help them decide which way they want to go. With a trade base in Australia, we aren't only able to travel all the way around Australia, which is so vast and with so many different communities, we're also able to travel outside of that to go to almost any country overseas and learn those skills from other tradespeople. I had the opportunity of working with many different trades all around the world, and I really strongly suggest if you are trade-based, then to do this. Because you don't just educate yourself, but you also get to educate the other people when you come back and teach other people your tricks that you learn from others overseas. If you've got any questions or queries about that or about what I've learned through the education process, please send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Or just flick me over something on my YouTube channel and I'll answer it the best I can. Thanks for watching, and like always, stay awesome.